Liam Foster. I'm a technical principal in water, or in Te Reo Māori, it's a Kaiarataki Hangarau Wai. I work in New Zealand, as you can tell from the use of Te Reo Māori. I work for WSP in New Zealand. I've been here since 2014. I hold a Bachelor of Science Joint Honours degree, Geography and Geology, and a Master of Sciences degree in Water Resources Technology and Management, all from the University of Birmingham. And I've been a member of CIWEM since 1999, and I'm a fellow of CIWEM, chartered scientist, chartered environmentalist, and lately got a certificate in Te Kanga Māori, which is the values, the Māori values. Yes, so I'm a technical principal of water in WSP New Zealand, and for the last 8 years since moving to New Zealand, I've sort of graduated through various roles. Predominantly my main focus now is threefold. One is around delivering projects for clients, keeping our clients happy with the work and services that we fulfill, predominantly in the water resources, stormwater, flood risk management fields. Secondly, helping to develop the strategy for the business in terms of working out what our key requirements are for supporting our clients, helping our communities to thrive and survive in the face of climate change. And thirdly, developing a pipeline of talent to support the business needs. So I've been working in the water and environmental industry since 2000. I started university in the mid-90s and graduated through to start my first role in 2000. I've taken a variety of roles as I've gone through my career, from hydraulic modelling through to hydrology, working as water resource scientists, working as a senior hydrologist, through to then working as an infrastructure strategy manager at a water company, to latterly arriving in New Zealand in 2014 and taking roles as a principal scientist, and then working my way up towards becoming, as we were before WSP took over, our company called Opus International Consultants. I was the global stormwater and flood risk management lead for Opus. And then Opus was sold to WSP in 2017, and ever since I've been working as a technical principal. Yes, so I've been very much a member of various societies that can help to further my technical development, as well as my overall standing on the industry. So I've been a member of WAPUG for a number of years before it became integrated into CIWEM to become the Urban Drainage Group. I was a graduate member of CIWEM for many years through to 2005, and part of the Metropolitan branch when working down in London and High Wycombe. Came across to New Zealand in 2004 for a couple of years and joined the New Zealand network as it was back then. For a couple of years as they were forming up for the first time. On return to the UK, I moved to Birmingham and became a member of the West Midlands branch. And over the 7 years that I was in Birmingham, started to support the committee and work in various roles on the committee through to becoming the chair of the West Midlands branch. All at the same time, I was also within the Rivers and Coastal Group, and was also on the committee for the Rivers and Coastal Group, and got the role of, I think, senior vice chair before I moved across to New Zealand. Since being in New Zealand, brought in and to help with the transformation of, I suppose, the New Zealand network into a country group, and on the committee there and current chair of the New Zealand CIWEM group. Have I benefited from them? Oh, completely. I mean, certainly for many reasons, not least of all being exposed to many great opportunities to learn and develop new skills, hear from industry specialists across each of those groups and across each of those networks. And then latterly, I suppose, predominantly from being involved in helping to run the groups and the branches, just the kind of the networking potential to meet, greet and work with people that are outside of your organisation to further both the industry but equally your professional network. The changes I've always, from the early age of being in Oman with my father used to work for an oil company, dare I say, and always been interested in the water environment, both in terms of when there is too much water and when there is too little. I can vividly remember being stuck in a flood in a wadi in Oman, and that being my first real exposure to the risks. But at that time, I was a young kid, it was fun. So I've always wanted to work in this industry, and that sort of helped me choose my career, my university choices, and then through to my career. I suppose there's a few points that are worth raising. I think had I known at the time how technology and innovation would drive the sector and really influence how we can support our communities, then I probably would have got on board a lot quicker. I mean, if I recall my times at university, I didn't have a mobile phone when I was at university, and then got one of the first Hotmail accounts. My Hotmail account is quite a unique one. It's my name, and you don't get that very often nowadays because there's so many versions of Liam Foster around the world. So kind of had I known how quickly that would take on and drive how this industry is perpetuated, I would have been a little bit more focused on the opportunities that would present. That was definitely one of them. I think more latterly, I think the ability to tell a story to help get a message across is something that I wish I'd worked on earlier. I'm working on it certainly now, and how vitally important science and engineering communication really is. I mean, it's great that we can do that really hard technical stuff and make sure that our projects are delivered correctly and appropriately to the level that's needed. But if you don't take a wide range of people on the journey throughout that, then the value will never be really won from that project, and it'll be lost pretty quickly. So I think that science communication or engineering communication is very, very, very important, and one that I'm having to develop later on in my life. And then a couple, I suppose, negative bits, I suppose. I mean, it's a shame, really, looking back over my 20 odd years of career, to see how slow we've been to really take up the challenge that is ahead of us in terms of the climate crisis. We hadn't really woken up until more recent years, and we could really push our clients and our peers hard to go harder and faster. I kind of wish that I'd been working across those multiple sectors, driving that forward a bit quicker. And then really kind of the element around innovation. Innovation, I suppose, is not just a shiny new widget or a tool, but I suppose how you can apply experience, be that from a different sector or a different project really, to a new problem, is innovative. And innovation is something, and so just not being afraid to think about innovation rather than just assuming that a new widget is the true innovation. I have to be honest, I suppose that, a lot of, as mentioned beforehand, what I enjoy about my career is how it fits in with my values around what I wanted to do and what I was excited about. So that's really, I suppose, helped get me most out of my career, because it's kind of driven me to persevere and put the hard work in to get through the career and have the opportunities that I've had. But I would also say that it wasn't just the fact that I enjoyed the work that did it. I had a number of people around me that were able to give me some support and generally push me every now and again, from a wide range of people throughout my career, from fellow peers at the time through to project managers on specific projects, to some pretty august industry heroes of mine that would try, I suppose, drag me through and push me up into positions that at the time I probably felt uncomfortable with, but have benefited from in the long term. The biggest fail that I really hang my heart onto is other than a couple of some specific projects that haven't gone as well as I'd like them to, and you always take some really good lessons from when the projects go not as well as they should do, compared to some of the better projects that go really, really well. It's definitely take those lessons and build off them. But I've been pretty slow at being able to realize that my role and certainly in the last 10 years has been to help grow other people into their careers, and so I've probably been a little bit too slow to trust people, and to trust that they could do the certain activities, and have ended up doing them myself, when actually there's plenty of opportunity to enable others to grow at the same grow at a similar pace or quicker than I would do. So I think that's probably a failing, because it's held me back to a certain extent, and not realizing the full potential of the wider teams to being able to deliver for some of the clients, but equally held back some very, very good young people from developing quickly. So value your knowledge and experience is a very, very important one to have it. You've got something you can say. You've got something from your experiences, from your background, that will add value to the perspectives of delivering a good project for your client. Definitely know your limitations, don't overstep your mark, but just remember that you can bring some skills to the problem and work with others to deliver on that solution, and equally have that confidence to ask for help from peers or specialists in areas that you're not knowledgeable on. And that's the bit that really is making the difference now in terms of the way that I've been looking to deliver projects, is respect my knowledge, but equally respect other people's knowledge, and bring all that diverse thinking to deliver on a good solution. I've probably become a slightly more reserved than in later life than I was when I was younger. I was always kind of a yes, I'll give that a go, and quite confident to have a go. Over the years, I've kind of tripped up every now and again, and found those limitations, as I talked about in the previous question. And as such, I suppose, amended that approach to be a little bit more, not reserved, but a little bit more aware of those limitations and what I need to do to bring others in to help deliver a better all-round product or project, and to help grow my knowledge as well. Number one, and this is from my first mentor at the time, and that was effectively learn how to manage your manager to get what you want from your career. So my first mentor was Professor David Barnforth when I first started at MWH, and within a couple of days, that was very much one of the first real things that stuck in my memory, was how he positioned that. He said, to get what you want from your career, you're going to have to work out how to manage me to get it. So that's a really, really good thing. So definitely work on how you can work with your manager or your leaders in your business to get what you want from your career. Say yes more than no. Be open to those opportunities that present themselves. So in 2004, I was presented with the opportunity to go and work with MWH in Auckland and New Zealand, and I said yes. I had some reservations, of course, but it was a great life opportunity, and I've decided to make my life for me and my family over in New Zealand for good. So it certainly opens up those eyes and opens up that potential of what you can and can't do. So say yes, try and say yes more than no, and don't be afraid about it all. And thirdly, treat people with respect. The industry is so small that actually, if you don't treat people with respect, it's likely to come back and haunt you at some stage in your future. So be really cautious around how you work with others, treat people with dignity, and value their opinions and thoughts, and work out how you can work collaboratively. I suppose the key one is just keep on learning. I mean, always keep on learning. I remember my first kind of CIWEM meetings about going for chartership was to keep a learning library. Obviously, it's more digital now than it was when I started. It was generally paper-based, and just try and make sure you keep on learning. And there's a wide range of, I suppose, free online courses that are there to help you grow, from everything from the kind of the softer skills through to the specific technical skills that are needed for your career development. I mean, for instance, there's kind of tutorials on QGIS or culvert design and how to use tools like HECRAS that are available on YouTube if you go searching for them. So just use those tools to support you, and then have that conversation with your various peers in your organisation to make sure that the advice you're getting on them is in line with the company standard or the approaches that should be taken. And also work on your networking, your storytelling, practice those presentations, get up there and put yourself out to present to your peers and your friends within the company and outside of the companies that you work for, because it's a really good way of growing your comfort and your competency in it. Fortunately enough to, I suppose, have a really enjoyable career, and long may it continue. And fundamental to all of that is actually being able to lean on people other than, I suppose, your direct line management, to really test what it is that you can do to grow your career, what it is that is needed to help resolve certain problems, be that from a kind of a confidence issue, potentially around presentations, as I used to have when I first started out, through to just giving you the confidence to push yourself further than perhaps you would do, because we've all got those little voices on our shoulders telling us not to do it, and we've got those people saying go for it. And the mentors can help you to navigate a pathway that will help you grow in the long run. So definitely advocate for it. Try and find one. There's a good network, certainly within the CIWEM professional networks within each of the branches and the groups, and reach out to somebody and go and have a coffee and talk to them about their career and their aspirations, and then share yours and how they might help you to achieve some of them.